Hey everyone, this is Handmade Video 92 here. You may be wondering why I'm uploading a second video today. Well, today is a bit of a special occasion. Today happens to be the birthday of a good friend of mine, who you all know as Your Perfect Nightmare. So, I would like to wish a happy birthday to Your Perfect Nightmare, and if you haven't done so, I recommend that you do the same. I will link her channel in the description. She is a great creepypasta narrator, she's a great friend to me, and she's an all-around great person. So definitely wish her a happy birthday if you haven't done so. Now, as for a gift, I have narrated 3 creepypastas here. 2 of them, which Your Perfect Nightmare has done on her channel before, and which she has said are 2 of her personal favorites in the past. And a third one that I found on my own that I think is rather fitting for the day. So, Nightmare, I hope you're having a wonderful birthday, and I hope you enjoy this video. So please, enjoy. You said you loved me. I was your first character. I remember when you first submitted a picture of me onto the internet. You were so happy when you got a compliment on me. Granted, there weren't many. You weren't a popular artist. But that was alright, because even 1 or 2 positive comments motivated you to draw more. I remember when you made a second character. His design wasn't exactly the most original, like, I'll admit it, my own design. But you were happy with his design. And seeing you happy made me happy as well. After some more positive feedback, you made another character. She was a little stereotypical, a bit of a Mary Sue, if you will, but no one seemed to mind, because you weren't bothering anyone, and you were happy. I'll admit it, I got a little jealous when you paid attention to the other 2 characters rather than I, but I got over it quickly, because I knew I was your first. I was number 1. I was your favorite. Wasn't I, dear creator? You said you loved me. Time passed. You gained a little popularity. You made more characters. But you still loved me. With a little more popularity, you got some hate. Some hate on some of your older characters, like me. But you still loved me. But people still hated. You were hurt, I could tell. But you still loved me. More time passed. People told you to shake off the haters. They're just lowlives with nothing better to do. You said you were fine, but I knew a part of you wasn't. But you still loved me. But you drew me less. Time passed. You gained a few more fans. You grew happier. You drew more. You made more characters. You started to draw them more. Some others just faded away, like your 3rd character. Haven't seen her in a while, have you, dear creator? But alas, you said you loved me. I believed you, even though you hadn't said it in a while. I still believed you. More time passed. More popularity, more characters, more forgotten ones. When was the last time you drew me? Hell, when was the last time you thought about me? A week? A month? Dare I say, a year? I've lost track of time. It's lonely without your attention. I do nothing but wait, waiting for you to think of me again. I am, after all, your creation. You created me, so I was in your mind, always there, like all the others you've created. If you gave us attention, then we were happy, because you said you loved me. But how could I be in your mind when you never thought about me? Surely I couldn't stay if I was no longer a subject there. Well, I'm not there anymore. I don't understand it either, but I guess you subconsciously kicked me out. And I faded away, like that other one. But then again, I didn't fade away, because I'm here now. I don't really know where I am. Well, I don't really care. Life has lost meaning for me. But this place kind of feels familiar. But then again, it doesn't. It gives me a sense of jamais vu. But as I look around, the feeling turns to that of déjà vu. But that doesn't surprise me, because I'm your creation. I know a little bit about you, even if you didn't tell me about it. I don't know how I know, but I know that this is your house. I guess your neglect did kick me out of your mind. So I'm in the real world now? There's something in my hand. I haven't thought about that in a while. I look down and I remember it. It's from the last time you drew me, countless weeks ago. It feels like an eternity. I remember it, though. I was eating cake or pizza or something. It's not important. But it was a knife. Not a sharp one. More like a butter knife, really. But I kept it. Of course I did. It was a gift from my creator. And my creator was precious to me. You said you loved me. I'm looking at the knife now. It looks kind of old, but that's okay. Anything can be a weapon if you try hard enough. I look around. There doesn't seem to be anyone home. Well, not in this room, at least. So I walk forward a little, trying to be quiet. I'm a fictional character. Excuse me, I was a fictional character. And I don't look exactly plausible for this world. Your world. My creator's world. I don't manage to bump into anything. That's good. Even so, no one walked into the room. So I continue, and I see a door. It's to your room, so I walk to it. I open it. I can see you now, at your computer, like usual. Can you see me? Probably not. Why would you see me? You haven't thought about me in such a long time, dear creator. Well, it doesn't matter. You wouldn't notice me if I yelled. So I draw closer. I can see you have a drawing. It's set aside now because you're reading something. But this drawing, one of your new characters, did you tell them you loved them? So I draw even closer. I'm right behind you now. Can you see me? Can you feel my presence? Are you finally thinking of me again? Of course not. I draw my arm back, the one with the knife. I just want you to think of me again. You don't love me anymore, dear Creator? Have you ever actually loved me, dear Creator? I prepare to swing. There are tears in my eyes. I'm weeping silently. Because I loved you. And you told me you loved me. But you lied. I had a dream last night. It was the kind that seems real right up to the point where you wake up. Some things were strange about it. Certain things were really strange about it, but it never occurred to me that it might not actually be happening. I'm still not prepared to say that it didn't happen. I'm not spiritual, and I don't really understand stuff like that. I just feel like I've been somewhere, and now I'm back. And I know something really happened when I woke up. And I think while I was asleep, too. I went to bed last night with a strange feeling. We all remember times when we felt like we were being watched, but this was more than that. I felt like there was someone there with me, but still, I couldn't keep from falling asleep. I don't exactly remember the beginning of the dream. The first thing I remember was starting at my house and walking. I was just walking down the road. All of my neighbors' houses were gone. I was just on a long, empty road, and there was no one around but me. I don't remember what I had been doing at my house before, but I may have been there a while before I started walking. I just recall feeling a strong urge to walk. I felt okay walking down that road. It was cold and dark, and I felt a little lost, but I wasn't afraid. Not like I had been in my room. I don't know how long I was on that road. It felt like a long time. I mean like days long, but I never felt tired, and I just wanted to keep walking. The road changed after a while. It had been straight and nondescript the whole time, but eventually I reached a bend and then a fork in the road. When I reached the fork, I wasn't alone anymore. A familiar voice called out to me from the side of the road. "It's good to see you," the voice whispered. "I'm just sorry to see you here." I turned to face the voice, knowing who I would see. It was an old friend from my childhood, someone I haven't seen in years. He looked just a little different from how I remembered him, but not by much. He was older than when I saw him last, obviously, but he seemed at least a few years younger than me somehow, even though we're supposed to be the same age. He was also very pale, unbelievably white, in fact, and he had deep circles around his eyes that were solid blue, as were his lips. "What are you doing here?" I asked. "I'm here to warn you," he replied. Naturally, I was all ears. "There's a man in your house right now," he explained. "What do you mean there's a man in my house? I was just there, I think." I didn't actually know how long ago I had been there. I wasn't sure how long I had been walking. "You don't understand," my friend stammered with apparent urgency. "He's really in your house right now." I had no idea what he was talking about, but I was curious. "Who is he?" I asked him. "He's the cold man. He comes to people at night when they're afraid. The cold man? I'd never heard of anyone like that before. I wanted to know more, so I asked, "What does he do?" "He waits to be noticed, then he makes his move. You know that chill you feel on your back when something really scares you? That's not just nerves. That's him standing behind you." "What for?" I wondered. "What does he do once you notice him?" My friend looked down and away. He wouldn't answer that question. "Just don't let him in," he cautioned. "What do you mean?" "He can be close forever," my friend explained. "He'll walk around your house at night and even stand in your room while you're asleep, like he is in yours right now. He can know where you are. He can even be looking right at you, but he won't find you unless you let him." "How does he find you? I mean, how do you let him?" My friend looked to the other side of the road like he was worried that someone might overhear. He leaned in very close and whispered, "If you see him, if you hear him, or if you ever start to feel suddenly very cold, don't move. Don't talk to him. Don't acknowledge him. Don't ever let him in." "I don't understand," I admitted. "How do I get rid of him?" "You can't," my friend replied in a small, shuddering voice. "Look, I'm out of time." "Out of time?" I repeated, not sure what he meant exactly. My friend shook his head. His eyes were wide, and he was shivering. Off in the distance, I noticed a dark figure creeping up behind me, but something kept me from speaking. "My time is up," he stammered. "Just whatever you do, don't let him in. And whatever you do, don't answer it." Something pulled my friend into the darkness, and suddenly I couldn't see him anymore. Before I could follow after him, though, I was startled awake by a loud noise. I was sitting in my room, fully dressed with my shoes on. I could swear I wasn't dressed when I went to bed. My shoes and legs were covered in dust. My feet were sore, and I could hear a ringing noise right next to me. In the confusion of waking up from such a vivid dream, I didn't immediately recognize it. I felt so cold. Then I looked down and saw my phone. That was the source of the ringing. Remembering my friend's words, I didn't answer it. Eventually, it stopped ringing. The room was cold as ice. The feeling that I was being watched was as strong as it had been when I had fallen asleep. I could hear something moving inside my closet, but I dared not move. I just closed my eyes and waited. Eventually, I heard footsteps walking away, still from inside the closet. It was as if they were walking down some unseen hallway, though my closet is small, and I couldn't see anything unusual in there. When the footsteps got far enough away, the cold lifted. He didn't get in this time. If my dream was true, if the thing in my closet was who I think it was, I must never let him in. I think he'll be back tonight, though. That's when he's supposed to come, as my friend told me. I don't know what happened to my friend, but I just hope people will remember his warning. If you start to feel cold while listening to this, don't be alarmed. If you hear something in your house, just ignore it. You can't afford to let him find you. Don't let the cold man in. Item number SCP-983. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-983 is completely safe so long as technicians handling it do so on any other day than their birthday. Should SCP-983 be presented to or handled by any individual on the yearly anniversary of their birth, they should immediately follow the sing-along guidelines contained in Emergency Kit 135-R, located next to the door to SCP-983's containment chamber. In the event that the targeted individual fails to meet sing-along requirements, their remains are to be disposed of through standard methods. In the event the targeted individual meets the sing-along requirements, the following pieces of data are to be collected: age, color of candy collected, singing accuracy obtained by the best judgment of those present, and the number of verses that passed before acknowledgement by SCP-983. No candy obtained from SCP-983 is to be consumed by any staff without senior staff-approved containment procedures in place and written waivers filed and stamped by the consumer. This requirement is waived in the case of Class D candy testing. Description: SCP-983 is a vintage mechanical monkey with a faded date located on the bottom of the left foot, placing its manufacture at some point in the 1940s by an unknown person or company. The monkey is dressed in the remains of what used to be a popular vest designed for circus ringmasters. In the monkey's left hand, there is a lightly tarnished brass bell. In the right hand, the monkey holds a small brass striking rod. The monkey is capable of emitting speech and sound, although examination of the object has revealed no seams, screws, or openings that would indicate a method of disassembly. SCP-983 is completely harmless and inert under most circumstances and may be handled without special precautions as long as the handler is not experiencing the 24-hour period considered the anniversary of his or her birth. Once SCP-983 physically comes into contact with an individual on their birthday, it will spring to life and do a single backflip before raising its bell and singing a simple song. A ring ding ding ding, it's your birthday! This single verse will be followed by the monkey striking its bell, producing a tone that varies in pitch from quite high to rather low. SCP-983 singing was found to vary slightly in pitch as well, but maintained a very excited and happy tone. SCP-983 will sing this song once every 3 to 4 seconds, pausing only to ring its bell, until the new owner has died or met the sing-along requirements, which as of yet are not completely understood, but are believed to be based on timing the sing-along properly with SCP-983. Each verse sung by SCP-983 appears to age the owner of the item by what is estimated at 1 year. By singing along with SCP-983, the owner may deactivate the monkey, which once done successfully, results in a triumphant declaration of "Birthday!" from SCP-983, at which time it will ring its bell once and produce a single gumdrop-style candy from the bell. The approach of singing along with SCP-983 has a direct impact on the color of the candy and the side effects of its consumption. Test groups instructed to follow Document 135-R to the letter have verified that a perfect sing-along results in the production of crystal-clear candy with mildly luminescent qualities. A near-perfect sing-along produces the same candy, minus the luminescence. Both of these candy types have been verified as restoring any age lost by the consumer due to SCP-983's song. However, the luminescent candy may also grant additional time and youth. though as of yet this theory is unproven due to the low production rate of this candy. Due to the inconsistencies in attitude, tone, behavior, and approach when trying to match SCP-983's song, a wide variety of candies have been produced. Under absolutely no circumstances are black candies to be allowed to be consumed, although other colors may be consumed pending prior approval and containment arrangements. The initial activation of SCP-983 was in a highly uncontrolled environment, so a retelling is the best record available of the incident. Subsequent tests of interest in more controlled environments have been attached to this document, as well as candy effects for those experiments. SCP-983 First Activation. SCP-983 was purchased from a local flea market intended as a gift for a monkey admirer as a joke. The seller of the monkey warned the purchaser that it has to be seen and never touched by anyone on the day of their birth, but was unable to give exact reasons why, stating it was a warning passed to them that was well observed and may have been gypsy legend or some other bull, redacted. Upon the birthday of SCP-983's intended new owner, the gift was unwrapped and the monkey handled, at which point it sprang into song. Staff attending the birthday party of their co-worker were amused, as was the recipient at first. However, witnesses state the recipient became more and more agitated the longer the monkey sang. After 10 estimated verses, the recipient tried to find a way to turn the device off, to no avail. Attendees state that at this time several persons noted streaks of silver within the recipient's hair. Following an estimated 8 to 10 more verses from SCP-983, the gray was quite pronounced, as were signs of wrinkling or stress on the recipient's face. Within 5 more verses, the recipient returned the monkey to rest and complained of not having the strength to deal with this nonsense, pleading for someone to turn it off. With SCP-983 not being fully realized as a potentially dangerous object, there was panic and sloth in the reactions of the attending staff, which led to SCP-983 being able to complete what can only be estimated at 30 or perhaps 40 more verses before a containment crew could arrive at the party locale. By this point, the recipient had long since expired due to aging, leaving only a skeletal frame remaining in his chair with the skin clinging to it. With confusion on how to approach SCP-983 safely, it was allowed to sing for roughly another minute before it ceased of its own accord, at which point nothing remained of the original recipient other than his purely skeletal remains. SCP-983's final verse consisted of the single word, "Birthday!", which it announced joyously before doing a single backflip and ringing its bell once. From the bell fell a single candy resembling a gumdrop pure black in color. The candy was never consumed and was described as being moderately entrancing, drawing a person's gaze into it until an outside source distracted them. With the number of individuals at the scene and the general chaos involving the incident, no single person was able to become too focused on the candy, and it was safely contained. SCP-983 Controlled Activation Number 32. During test number 32 regarding SCP-983, one test subject, blank blank, volunteered for testing as her birthday had approached, and she displayed qualities unique in comparison to previous test subjects, specifically an exceptionally upbeat and excited approach to her birthday. Blank is referred to as the subject for the remainder of this test. Without explanation as to what to expect, the subject was given SCP-983 as a wrapped present with the prior warning that this object sings, and it would make for a great birthday video if she were to sing along with it. The subject displayed glee and acceptance of SCP-983 as a suitable gift when it was unwrapped, and required no guidance in singing along with the object as it began. The subject went above and beyond the singing requirements, missing only the first verse to get the words, and picking up immediately at the second, then continuing for a total of 45 verses, for a total of 46 completed. During the singing process, the subject displayed the expected aging process with each verse that passed, but displayed no loss of energy or enthusiasm in continuing the songs till their end. The subject remained completely unaware of her body's physical state throughout the experiment. Upon completion of the final verse, SCP-983 announced the finale as expected with stating, "Birthday!" loudly and performing a single backflip followed by a ringing of its bell. The candy produced from the bell was recorded as being a vibrant white color with vaguely luminescent properties. The subject noted it was the most beautiful confectionery that they had ever seen, and observing staff also noted admiration for the gumdrop. In keeping with the control of the experiment, the subject was allowed to consume the candy. Upon finishing the candy and following a 1-hour period of monitoring, there was no indication that any side effect occurred from consumption. With the experiment about to be declared finished, the subject asked to leave and was excused from the testing area, at which point she exploded with blinding light that damaged the cameras monitoring the experiment and left all attendees blind for 5 minutes following the burst. Assisting personnel who rushed to the scene described a faint lingering light that remained for at least 2 minutes in the place where the subject stood before it faded out. The subject has not been located since this experiment, and unusually high electromagnetic activity has been noted within the area that was used for testing. Replacement of light fixtures within this area has also risen approximately 70% from the norm throughout other areas of the facility. However, no decrease in lighting has been reported in any area affected by this anomaly.